Hello, family. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy E, the Dividend Passport Bro, back with another video, guys. I want to say thanks and welcome to the channel. Thanks to all the new subscribers who subscribe to the channel for liking and sharing the content. I appreciate you guys. Without you, there will be no me because if you guys wasn't watching the content, I would just stop doing it because I feel it won't be any benefit to anybody. But since you guys like the content and watch the content and leave your comments every now and then, I appreciate it. That's the reason I continue to do what I do because I'm doing this for you guys, right? As you guys learn from my mistakes. And as I go back and watch the content, I'm like, man, I should have messed up like that. So I'm learning from my own mistakes and I continue to improve myself and get better as we go along. Now, if you are here, of course, you are here for one reason because of dividend investing, financial independence, and retire early. So you're in the right place, guys. Okay. We have over 300 plus videos on this channel, okay, where you can go and look and you know think about it. All the videos got pretty much similar titles, so you have to go and look at the videos, okay? But it's all about financial investments, retiring early, putting your money into the market, choosing the right positions, and all that good stuff. Okay, guys. So let's get down to business. But before we get down to business, remember, guys, this is not financial advice, okay? I am just a 52-year-old man that makes video about my portfolio and my portfolio alone. So do not take this as financial advice. Okay, guys, I appreciate you. Let's get down to business. Now, this thing looks beautiful, right? When we see, for me, when I see a little red in there, I'm happy than when I see a lot of red, right? We see a few grains here and there. That's not good, right? Now, I think I'm gonna have to start wearing. I'm gonna have to get more green color shirts because any day it seems like I don't know. This is what we used to do back in the day when I used to play soccer. We would do certain things before a game. If we win the game, that would be a ritual to continue to do that stuff no matter what, right? So the guy brought it to my attention the other day. He's like, "Man, you wore that green shirt, and we did good." So today I decided to wear my green shirt after I washed it, of course, and got it cleaned up. And I decided to wear my green shirt, and the market did okay. So I don't know. Okay. Guys, you can see, right? Apple's up, Google's up, Nvidia, Microsoft, um, Amazon. Also is even out, balance itself out, right? We got a few reds, right? We got Meta, Tesla, Netflix, Home Depot, to name a few, Wells Fargo, to name a few, still in the red. But it is what it is. I'm still happy because my portfolio is not dealing with margin calls today. And we actually got some money in the portfolio, even though, right, Fidelity sold 40 some $1,000 worth of my Misty, uh, to help with margin calls. Now, I was thinking, I was like, well, if they're going to sell, they're only going to sell the amount for the margin calls. No, they sold more than what I would need for margin calls, which is kind of crazy. But it is what it is. Um, I waited too long because I want to do it myself. But I waited too long and that didn't happen. So we have to deal with the consequences, right? So as you can see, um, Bitcoin is back to $80,000. Ethereum is still fighting the way up to 1,500, past the $1,500 mark. And the rest of the following guys are doing what to do, right? Now I do have some of this stuff, right? I'm planning on selling. I sold my Bitcoin. I don't have any more Bitcoin left. I sold my Bitcoin, and right now I got Solano. Shiba is my biggest holding right now as far as crypto is concerned. And Shiba's not in the top 10, right? In the top 20. So they're ranked number 17 right now, right? Let's see. Shiba Inu. This stuff takes forever. Let's go here. Where's Shiba? Shiba's right there. This one, it just popped right up. Shiba Inu, can you believe that, right? Shiba Inu have is $7.19 billion market cap. That is ridiculous, right? And in the 24 hours, Shiba did $161 million, right? In volume. That means people buying, selling, whatever, in volume. 161.58 million dollars. That is crazy, right? So I'm holding on to Shiba. we can't. It's not everybody can afford to buy $80,000 Bitcoin, right? But we can afford to pay less than a penny, way less than a penny, right? See how many more zeros in there, right? Um, we can pay that. At some point, it's gonna go. Either it's gonna go up, but from what I can see, the market cap keep growing, right? The market cap keep growing, and who am I to say anything? I'm not. This is not financial advice, guys. So if you find one of these little cryptos that you think is gonna do good, take SRP for example, right? 111 billion, 109, 119 billion dollars, 119 billion, 26.26. That's a lot of money. The volume in the last 24 hours, $3 billion XRP. So I mean, XRP is the next big thing. Ranked number 4 amongst crypto, right? That is not no that's no joke, right? Ranked number 4. So if you say, I got $1,000 to spend in crypto, you can throw 1,000 there. You can throw 1,000 into Shiba, my financial advice. You can throw any other stuff that's when you get your tax return. You know what? You like, I can throw some money in here. You can throw 15 cents per crypto Doge, right? Doge is $23 billion market cap, to rank number 8. That is crazy. Sometimes I don't really look at this stuff because I don't really invest that much in crypto. I used to invest in Doge. I made a few $1,000s out of that and I sold out. Um, maybe it's something I can consider going back into since it's still cheap. But I lost my shirt in a few coins, right? I know a friend of mine, he was over a million, literally. He was over a million between um, that. What's the one with the wolf? I can't think of the name of it now. I had that. I had the one with the little ninja. I can't think of the name of it either. I lost some money in that, a couple $1,000s in that, and I was like, bro, you got over $1,000, man. $1,000. You got over a million. Why don't you sell half? Why don't you just sell half of that? Take 500,000 out, put it aside, right? Put that into the stock market. He said, "No, man, I'm not gonna do that." And a lot of his stuff are into that wolf and that ninja, right? And that stuff are being pumped. And of course, you know, we lost our money out of that. So I think he probably lost $300,000, close to half of what he had. And then with the market been down, all the stuff down, he probably went back up because when Bitcoin went up, he probably went up. I don't know how much, but then you know he probably never sold it. I sold some of my Bitcoin, so he probably never sold anything. And when it went back down from 100 down to now it's 80 something, that's a $20,000 gap, right? And he probably had maybe 20, 30 Bitcoin, but some people just they don't take profits. And for me, I think it's important when you start investing to understand when to take profits. Now I know you guys have. Why you keep showing us this? So I did my activation thing. I want to show you guys this. When I go back to click on this button, this is what it tells me, right? My account, review my account. It's like, why would you need to review my account when I had this account for I don't know how many years, right? 7 years, 5 years, whatever. I had this account. I had this account for some donkey years because I transferred my stuff out. Now they want to do all this review my account. It costing me money right now because I could have been buying my little stuff and collecting my little $2 here and there and growing my portfolio. But I just want to show that to you guys. This is where I'm at, right? My stuff being reviewed. It took forever. I did. Well, when did I do that? Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I think that was the day before yesterday. I did that. Today's Friday, right? Yeah, today's Friday. I lose the days, guys. The days just get over me. I lose the days. But this is what. So I mean, everything else that I have in here, a lot of this stuff, some of the stuff I'm going to buy, and pretty much this going to be another dividend portfolio. But a lot of this stuff I'm not going to buy. Right, I'm going to have somewhere between 60 positions in here to 100. You know, but whatever I can get that I already have in my other portfolio, I will replace it with something because I want to have at least 100 positions. And I know you guys like Edwin. That's a lot because this is, like I said, this is becoming my job, right? This is becoming my job. Um, I put all my time and stuff into this. I look at my portfolio multiple times a day. Um, so of course, if you don't have the time, you can like, I'm gonna do 20 positions, 30 positions, maybe up to 60. I think that's a good number, right? And if you say, well, you know what, I'm gonna have all these positions in the beginning, your goal will be like, I want to get to $1. I want each position generating me $1 a month, right? That's $60, right? So I mean, that's the goal. You like, you know what? I want each position generating me $1 a month. That's how I got started, right? The dollar was my initial goal, um, and it didn't take long for me to get past that dollar a month from each position because I was dumping money into my portfolio regularly, and before you knew it, I was at $5 a month from each position, and that number continued to grow, right? And now, like with this portfolio, the goal is to have each of these positions, right? When I get the numbers to where I need to get it to have each of these positions paying me $1 a month, right? I mean, $100 a month. Sorry. So that's the goal. I know it seemed like, I mean, it seemed like it's a lot, and it seemed like it's not a lot, right? Because it will take time to build that up. I got one share here. I'm barely getting a few dollars, whatever, right? A few cents. But as this continues to grow, right? Depending on how pulling income and everything gets back to normal, balancing stuff out, we'll continue to put money in here. This is going to continue to grow. Now, there's something I didn't pay attention to a lot last year. I mean, this year, I mean, last year, now it's New Year. Um, it's taxes, right? Um, because you have to pay taxes on this money, right? You're like, oh, you're making all this money, and you're not thinking in your mind like, oof, I have to pay taxes. Now I know some people be like, man, I don't want to make a lot of money because I have to pay taxes. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard, right? Everybody want to be a millionaire, but nobody want to pay taxes on the man that they make. But you don't have to you don't have to make $1 million to be a millionaire, right? You just have to make enough and have a net worth of $1 million. So as we focus on this stuff, you got to think about it. Look, I got to pay taxes on this, and I always tell you guys to look at the tax losses because you can write that off on taxes. Now I'm going to do my taxes sometime this week or next week, before the deadline day. But this is something I've been looking into to see how I can make sure that I use some of the losses, not from this year, but from last year, um, to put that into my document. So when I go to my tax guy, we can he can look at everything and say, okay, well, this is the losses, whatever. How do we calculate how much you want to take out this year and then next year? For me, I'm probably gonna do all of it right now this year, and then deal with next year because we already lost a lot already in the beginning of this year. So I mean, compared to last year, I mean, I'm just gonna do all of that right now and deal with that other stuff next year, right? I mean, that's it. I did buy some more. Um, well, I didn't buy nothing. The money came into the portfolio today, $300 came into the portfolio. I was initially going to use that money to pay for my car, my Tesla, but the transfer I made got into the account, and able to pay car payment, so that's done. Now I can use that to buy some more positions. Now I gotta look and see what's paying next week, right? And then I'm gonna buy that. But it's a slow process in growing these positions. My daughter just came into the room, so every time I get on the computer, she hear me talking. She shows up. It's like she don't want me to talk to nobody, even when I'm talking to her mama. So as you can see, the positions, the value is going down in the portfolio. Um, Up to date 2.6%, 2.68%. Um, and we're gonna continue to grow the portfolio, right? Uh, right now we're not doing much growing because we're just trying to survive and get out of this crazy period. But we still, that's why I need the other account to open up because we can reinvest into the other account because there's no margin calls on my Fidelity. Once I get my Robinhood not open yet on my Chartwell, there is no margin calls there. Now I got to work with margins, so we're just gonna grow this. And I know I say I was gonna get rid of margins, but after thinking about it, I'm like, I'm gonna use margins. I'm gonna use it the right way because I've learned what I need to do and what not to do, how much of my margin to use and what not to use. So as things continue to grow, I'm gonna keep that and use that to my advantage. That's what I want to do. Okay. So let's go into the big boy tracker here. The big boy tracker got the more better number because it showed what's the differences in the portfolio. So we down, as you can see, the income went down, as I told you guys, but at this point, it doesn't matter because we're just trying to survive. And as the income goes down, because the portfolio, the value of the portfolio, you see now we have 150,000 difference in the portfolio. So I can use some of these losses. I know a lot of this is not from this year, some of this from last year, but whatever I can use from this in my taxes, as I go through this information to pull that information out for my accountant, um, this is what we're gonna do. And you know, I hope for the best, right? I hope for the best because if not, if it goes to where I gotta pay, I might be like, I'm gonna wait another year. Okay, if I have to pay taxes this year, if I gotta pay money, I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait till next year to do it. But if I don't have to pay, then I'll go ahead and do it. But if I have to pay, spend money, if I go to do my taxes, he's like, hey, we gotta come up with like $30,000, $40,000. I'll be like, no, we're gonna wait till next year. Um, or just do it and then pay them later, schedule a payment plan, whatever, but we'll figure it out. At this point, I don't even know what to think, what I'm saying? It's just been one of those years. And right now, taxes is the next thing we'll have to deal with. All right, so let's see how much the income dropped. We were at 28,000 yesterday. I know we by 25, 24. Okay, 24. I mean, I don't think that's too bad, right? Somebody is walking behind me here. Yeah, this is my child here. She don't listen. Just drop her daddy crazy. But 24/7 is almost at 25. I mean, I think we'll be able to get back up there once things start to balance itself out. Um, if things continue to go the way everything's going the last few days, we're gonna be fine. So now I'm looking forward to the end of the month, so we can see how the rest of the months is gonna update to see how much they're gonna drop. Right? If they're gonna drop to 30,000 instead of 26, but if they stay up at 36, that means we know we're going to generate close to $26,000 a month. Still, which is not bad, right? And I mean, I just have to hold my horses for the next few months. So I mentioned it yesterday. I know some people already had an answer to that. Nobody commented in the channel, but I was going to take some money out of my Roth to purchase a property. Now I already knew some of the information, but I didn't, because I know you can get a loan from your 401k and you pay that back. But if you're doing a Roth, you cannot get a loan from your Roth. Now, there's something I did not know. And I just find out when I talk to the people at Fidelity. They're like, no, you can take the money out, but I already know the other part. I can only take out my contributions. So I was like, well, but how do I, what about my contributions? She's like, well, you have to go and do it. And I have to do it manually. So that part sucks, right? Um, there should be a way to where you can just go and check, just like you can check your contribution annually for the year. There should be a way you can go from the lifetime of your account and show the amount of money you invested. That would be too much work. Um, from the time you started that Roth, right? They should show that amount. Say you invested 20,000. Because it's not everybody maxed out the Roth. Now in the beginning I didn't, but in the last 5 years I have been maxing out my Roth, right? So I know I can pull out, you know, close to 40 grand, more or less. But I need 50, maybe 55. So, and I'm going to use that money to buy a property, right? So that's what I'm going to do. Did you see me working, Mama? I'm going to use that money to invest in the property. So, what am I going to do right now? Hold on. All right, family. So I had to deal with the little one. But as I was saying, our goal, right? The 5 year goal, we're still on track for the 5 year goal, right? Because once we get to anywhere in this number, right? In 5 years, I want to have that 5 mil net worth. So if I got 4 mil here, estimated 4 mil here, I should have real estate and other stuff that would be closer uh, to that $5 million net worth. And I think at that point, I think I should be fine uh, financially, right? I think having $1 million net worth is okay. Everybody want to be a millionaire, but when you get there, you realize like, shoot, this is just the beginning, right? And I've heard stories about how new millionaires get treated bad by guys, by people who've been there to have multiple millions. Even if we have 10 million net worth, you still compared to somebody who have 20 or 100, they treat you kind of different, right? Because like, yeah, he's new money, he gonna lose that in no time. So it's all the process. So the goal for me, right? My goal, I feel, when I get to five, when I have a $5 million net worth, then I have officially arrived, right? That's me. I don't know about anybody else. Even when we get to two, you have multiple millions. Um, I think you actually there, but it's all a process, right? Everybody's different, and for me, my process is to get to five, to have a net worth of $5 million in the next 5 years. Um, and you can see the trajectory. So this kind of shows me that I'm on the right track because if I generate $4 million in net worth from this tracker from the market, of course my other asset, real estate and all that stuff, it's gonna be value probably half for that. So if I generate $4 million from the real estate from the market and then another 2 or 3 million from real estate, I'm way over the $5 million mark, right? Because this is only tracking real estate market, not real estate. Okay, so I think we're fine. And if I'm able to, when I if I know I can do it. Um, if everything goes according to plan, right, and the lady agrees to my offer, I'm gonna pull 50 grand from my Roth and buy and pay the bank off, do the deal to pay the bank off, and then have another agreement with her to pay her off in 6 months. I mean, and the option is being that the market do good. If the market goes down, then that change that allow me more time to pay her the money. Um, but that's what we are right now, right? This is where we are. This is what we're trying to do as we continue to grow. Um, Guys, I try to share things with you guys, what's going on with me financially. Um, Not say follow my footsteps, right? Some of you guys probably doing this already. Um, but they said never to put money out your Roth, right? Because it's a retirement account. But me buying a property that I can pay off in 6 months and pulling half of the money from my Roth. That's a retirement plan because I am in the process, right? You think I'm joking? I'm in the process of moving to Colombia. So just like I go to Colombia and stay certain period of time and come back, that's going to be the opposite. I'll be coming to the U.S. and staying a few weeks, a month, or whatever, and then go back to Colombia. That's going to be my plan because um, and when I get to the place where I need to be to start building properties here, hopefully that'll be the next couple of years. Then I'll be spending a little bit more time here because I'll be the foreman and overseer of the project. And right now, with everything going on, I don't think it's a good idea. We got to wait till all this tariff stuff, all that stuff gets situated in the next few years. I might have to wait until after the next election, before I start building, depending on what's going on in the market. Okay, everybody's different, right? There's deals out there to buy stuff, but I want to actually build. I want to build what I'm giving out to people. I want to actually build my project because I think it would be a lot cheaper to build something than to buy something, and I would know the ins and out of the product that I'm building to rent out. So initially, we're going to start with 2 bedrooms, maybe do a 4 or 8 unit, right? And if I'm going to buy a 4 or 8 unit in Atlanta here, 4 unit probably going to be close to 600,000, 700,000, depends. 8 unit maybe over $1 million, right? But if I'm building it, I'm going to get that half the value, um, and it's going to be a brand new product. So we're going to get top notch, renters in there, and that's gonna generate income. And the thing about it, just like I'm doing with the stock market, the goal is to buy one, build not buy one, build the first one, right? Refinance that, pull the money out, and then use that money to build the next one. So we're gonna use the first one that we built, pull the money out, and then use that money to build the subsequent buildings, right? So as by the time we get to the halfway mark on the first building and doing everything else, when the building is almost done, we will be looking for, already looking for land for the next project. So that's my mindset. And of course, like I said, I'm going to retirement in 5 years. I'm not just going to retire and hey, I'm chilling. No, I'm retiring from corporate America. Maybe I don't know. I still work my job in those times, but with my job, I have all the time I need. So if I have a project, I need to be on site. I just need to have my computer sit in the truck, or sit in my Tesla, or whatever car I have at the time, and doing what I need to do. Right. Um, but that's the plan. And if if I sell my house here and sell the other properties that I have in the U.S., that will only increase the time frame. And then right now, I mean, maybe just buy the land and start putting the plan into place. And then by the time I get to where I need to start, I can just start. Guys, this is the other part of this channel that you're probably not going to get from any other channel because all they talk about is investing in the market. I know some people don't care about investing in the market, but like I said, there's a lot of people that invest, that's watch this channel, that generate more income than I do from the market. Now, I don't know what else they have going on. We want to mostly talk about what I do and what everybody else is doing in the market. But like I said, this is not just about investing in the market. Of course, this is not just um, This is a financial channel, okay? But it's a dividend channel. We'll talk more about dividend. But the other little 10% or 5%, however percentage wise you want to look at it, that we talk about real estate, is to be able to diversify, right? Diversify your portfolio and not just look at, oh, you know what, I'm just going to put my money into the market, right? So that's another option, right? My portfolio, if you look at tax, if I take out taxes from my rental and take out HOA dues from my rental, I mean, we probably generating maybe close to $500 a month, um, maybe $500 a month. If I want to, I think maybe about 500 a month um, in income, right? That's taxes um, for the rental HOA dues, and then the $100 a month that I put aside to cover, when I have to service the AC and stuff like that. I always have to service the AC at least once a year. Um, Now, some of the stuff I've learned that I usually, if I'm in the country, I'll go and do it myself to make sure everything works out. But if I'm not here, then I have to pay somebody $200-300 just to go and pump out the damn AC unit. That's why sometimes, like, I need to have not just focus on one unit, what takes my time, but if I have 20, 30, 40, 50 units, right, that's generating 500-600 bucks a month, then from each one of those, then we can like, yeah, we can hire somebody else, give somebody else a job, and I don't have to worry about it because I don't want to have to be in the U.S. to just deal with properties as far as the rental part. I want to be here building this stuff. I think that's the most fun for me, designing and building. That part I love, right? I mean, it's great to collect the income, of course, but build a business for the kids, something for them to want to do. If they want to do it, that's it. If not, that's their business. But as always, guys, this is not financial advice, okay? This is just me sharing my journey, and I hope you guys appreciate it because I appreciate the time you sit to watch the content and leave a comment. Appreciate that too. I love you guys. Um, it's the weekend, so tomorrow we're going to see how much money we got coming into the portfolio for this week. I think I kind of gave a rough number from the top of my head yesterday, but tomorrow we're going to make the video and see how much money coming in into the account. All right, guys. So I love you guys. Peace out. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Friday, a great weekend, and we'll do this again tomorrow. Deuces.